Okay, Enzo, we're going to put a sticker on. I'm working on this Jazzmaster right here. So this is after I sprayed a couple of light, I sanded it all down and sprayed a couple of light coats of lacquer on there. So the wood is sealed with some lacquer. But now you need to make it perfectly smooth. So you have to take some 1500 sandpaper. And then you have some water, dip it in water. And have a nice source of light to look at it. Just sand it lightly where the sticker's going to go, because you're going to put more coats of lacquer on top of the sticker after it's stuck on there. But if you don't have any lacquer on there, the sticker doesn't stick to the plain wood. So you can tell by angling the light if it's perfectly smooth. You can, if you get this good source of light, look down it. And looks like this is good to go. So the next thing we have to do is we have to get our picture. So here's a good one. Well, that's the complete neck. Let me get a close up on the headstock. There it is. And you want to kind of blow it up to the size of the, I don't know if you can see this. You want to kind of blow it up to the size of the headstock itself. So here's the headstock. It's about the same size. See how that is? Okay, so that makes it really easy to position the sticker to it. First, what we got to do is cut out just around the edges of this, and I'll make it some scissors. So I'll see if you can see this. You want to come close to the edge of the writing, but not too close. If you look at this, if you look at the stickers on the internet, you can see them like the old ones. They're kind of wearing off. So I don't know if you can see this. I'm rounding right around that corner there where it says offset. Top of Jazzmaster. Then when I hit the D, I kind of scoop down into the E-N part before getting to the F. And you're doing a Mustang, so you'll have kind of the same thing. You're doing like a 60s Mustang. And then see the little swirl? I'm going around the edge of the swirl. This is the funnest part. And then don't cut off the patent numbers. Very important, because that tells what year you're trying to replicate. And there she is. Okay. Now this part, here's the part where you dip it in the water. So we have our bowl of water. Sorry about the paint can in the way. And you let it sit in there. Just for about a minute. And it's really important to have a napkin ready to go. So I have this nice green napkin from IKEA. And when we're going to slide it off the paper. You can tell when it starts to loosen. Sometimes it'll come off in the bowl itself. You can see where it separates from the paper backing. And I just do slightly warm water. Sometimes you can put soap in it too. And then your positioning, you could do a dry run of it, but I can see where the A is right above the dent and the F lines up with the third tuner. So the F's going to go there, and then it's kind of, the end of it's right in the center of the headstock there. I don't know if you can see that. And see how we're doing with our sticker. They didn't really, when they were in the factories in the 60s, they didn't really care too much about where the stickers went. So sometimes you'll see them all, in different places from authentic guitars. So it was pretty interesting, the Fender factory back then. They had guys painting guitars, right next to the guys that were sawing the guitars, next to there's this famous Mexican lady that wound the pickups. Ibarra was her name. If you can find pickups by Ibarra, they're worth big money. And it's all in one room. They're all smoking cigarettes, and it was crazy. That was back in the 60s, 50s and 60s. So they started doing this in the 50s. So let's see how we're doing. So you check on it, see if it's loosened at all. Nope. Here's your, I'll show you your Mustang sticker. I think the Mustangs are the coolest because they have the little wind in the coming off it. Super cool sticker. And then depending on the year you cut out one of these circles, you're going to cut those out separately. You'll see when you look at the internet. Nope, it's not coming off yet. Sometimes they come off within the first 10 seconds. Sometimes it takes a while. Oh, it's really important when you spray the lacquer too, it's got to dry a day before you can sand it with that 1500 grit. Otherwise, it'll be too wet. So you have to let it dry overnight. I usually give it a day. And then once we get our sticker on, you have to let it dry. Let that dry for a day before you can start spraying more lacquer on top of it. And actually, I like to age the neck to see the difference, how white this wood is compared to that. So they have special aged clear and an vintage amber, which I use a lot of. And so it's nice to put it on top of the sticker, because then the sticker looks old too. And I don't know why this isn't coming off. There it goes. You can see it lifting. You can see it lift from the paper backing. Now it's important, here's the most important part, to slide it off without bending it. And that's going to be a trick. So hopefully, I'm going to center this so you can see what I'm doing here. On top of the mouse. You can get this a little wet here too, where it's landing. Okay. Okay, here we go. See how it's kind of bending? Okay, see I got the paper out of the way. I'm going to pull the paper like this, so it sits flat. Don't worry about position right now. The skinny part's the hardest part. You see how that rolled off the back of it? Okay, now I'm going to position it. So the F is right there. The patent numbers are almost touching the bottom. This is a little higher. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, now this is the trickiest part. You got to hold one end so it doesn't slide it around. You gotta hold one end right here, and then you don't want to rub it, you want to dab it. So I'm dabbing the sticker. So it lays flat. So I'm kind of pulling it this way, so I'm holding it here and pulling it that way so the entire thing lays flat. It's easy to slide around, so careful. Get all the bubbles out. Use a dry part of the napkin. And then you kind of smooth it out from the center out. And then you can check it in the light. See if it's perfectly flat. There we go, that's it. And then you got to let it dry, so try not to touch it once you have that perfectly flat. And check it if there's any bubbles, you can re-wet it and gently smooth them out. But this one came out pretty good. It looks beautiful. I'm sorry I was off camera there. Okay. Talk to you later.